What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock and show you guys what under the charts are showing about NIO. I'm going to break down what the technicals are showing, how low may NIO actually go during this bear market crash that we may be about to see, and what this means for the future of the stock and the company going forward. Now, before I break anything down, before I get into any details, I still have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. The best part is, any of these 12 free stocks could be a free NIO share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends today, so please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So I want to talk about NIO now. And there is something very interesting that I mentioned in my previous videos. So let me actually pull this up real quick. Let me see if I still have the chart. So right here, I have my Wyckoff accumulation schematic. I want you guys to just look at this for a second. You guys will notice there's a phase A, phase B, where we come down to the sell test in phase B right here when we drop on low volume, followed by a big push up, and then this major crash for the spring phase, followed by a big rally from phase C all the way up to phase E. So very simple, right? Very easy to understand. Institutions use this to manipulate stocks. I made a video about NIO following this recently. So now I want to do something a little different. Let me just make some adjustments. Let's do this. When you look at NIO's share price, okay, this is the pattern NIO has been following recently. And you could see this very interesting looking similarity between the two. What else is interesting about this, though, is when you look at the charts, you will also notice the fact that we appear to be in phase C right now. All right. So being in phase C, it's clear that we are most likely going to see a spring, meaning NIO is going to make a new low. Where was the previous low we made in May? $11.66, meaning NIO is going to drop below $11.66 in my opinion. Now, why is this happening? We know there's a lot of tension around the world. There are global conflicts. The world is recovering from the virus pandemic situation. There's high inflation in Europe, in Germany, in the UK, in the USA, all over the world. The feds are just hammering us down. We're seeing central banks continuing to have to do what they have to do. The whole world is in a mess, to be as honest and blunt as possible. And what's happening is the whole market is kind of like crashing as a result of this. The market is forecasting an earnings recession. This means that because demand is dropping, because we are seeing the economy slow down, because we are seeing these big issues with gas prices now going up again, with inflation soaring, earnings are likely not going to be as good for companies. They're going to start losing profits. We're not in the best of states, guys. I have to be as blunt as possible. Remember in 2008, the entire market crashed. Did the market crash because every company was bad? No, not at all. But we do tend to move collectively in the markets when we enter these phases, these cycles. We're now in a bearish cycle, and that is causing NIO to drop. So how low may NIO go? And this is why I was zoomed out of my chart, because I was looking at something. I noticed something that's not very good, guys. And I want you guys to be ready for this. Okay? This is not me spreading FUD. This is not me trying to scare you. This video is about me trying to give you guys the information, the facts, and the truth, because it is the truth that sets us free, right? So what we could do is we could use a Fibonacci retracement. Let's make this as small as possible. And let's look at how low NIO could actually go. So what I did earlier was I found my Fibonacci retracement. We start at this like low bottom down here, and we come all the way up to NIO's all-time high right here. And what you will notice, okay, maybe I didn't get this perfectly right, but it's very close. All right, it's very close. I did this quickly. It's very close. NIO's golden pocket is at $7.94 and $7.11. That's the 0.65 and the 0.618 retracement marks. Now, that's a big drop for NIO to come down to the sevens. And I know that sounds like unlikely, it makes people feel uneasy, but here's something else I noticed. When you look back at the chart, look right here, back in 2020, NIO has these two giant gaps that I noticed right here. One of these gaps takes NIO to $9.33. The other one would take NIO down to the it's like $8, very close to $8, high sevens. So it does look like we could actually retest the golden pocket here and see NIO hit the $8 range. And I know you don't like to hear that. I understand. Like I know exactly how you feel, but that might be what is about to happen in this bear market. Something people wouldn't expect. Because think about it. Okay, fear is driving the markets. The market is starting to crash. We're about to see, I mean, the SPY is making new lows. The market is making new lows for the year. And there are many projections to see the SPY hit like 340, 320. Very possible. And you have to remember what I mentioned in my previous videos. Looking on the weekly let me pull it up. Give me 1 second, guys. The VIX. This is the implied volatility index. What do you guys notice? Every single crash, 2008, every single major drop, 2011. Remember 2015, the drop, 2018, the drop, 2020 had the drop. Every single major crash, the VIX is going to surpass 45 every time. In this quote unquote crash, we're not even close to 45 on the VIX. We're barely at 32. It looks like the market has more room to drop, guys. I have to be honest with everyone. And when the market drops, stocks which are amazing companies, strong fundamentals, expanding all over the world, they're going to come down. We may see NIO in the single digits soon. The spring could be right here, $10. Maybe it's all the way down here. I don't truly know yet, so I don't want to say it's going to do this. It's more like, all right, this thing is likely going to test the tens very soon. Could we hold $10? If we break below the tens, then we're going to see the nines. And then we're going to actually fill that first gap. And let me show you where those gaps are. On NIO, let me pull this up. All right, right here. If NIO fills the gap, you could see it on the weekly, you could see it on the daily. The first gap would be in that like low $9 range, which means we could come down to this $8 range right here. Very possible. If NIO comes down below 10, we could actually hit the nines. Don't hold 9, then you have to look at like the next gap, the next like very low level. You can actually see it on the daily. All right. So that's the point I'm trying to make. You have to watch these levels. For me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing hit 10, the tens very soon. If we don't hold the tens, we will likely fill the gap way back here. If you fill this gap and we continue to come down, this key zone right here, which is where like our support is going to be, because this is where resistance was during that time frame. The $8 range is still possible for NIO. I have to be honest with everyone. Now, like I was saying, and I kind of like cut myself off, I'm not scared. I'm not worried at all. In fact, I'm excited. I'm super excited about this because this is a chance to buy the dip in a company. You could buy it for $7, $8, $9, however low it goes. You could dollar cost average down. But remember, this company was almost at $70 a share. You have a chance. Whatever you put into this company, it made 7, 8, 10x within a year or two. Think about that when the market starts recovering. 10x in such a short period of time. That's an amazing opportunity. Remember, in the stock market, the average investor doesn't even make 10% a year. They make less than that. And we have a chance to do that. 10x our money on display. I want to just put it out there. That will depend on how fast NIO recovers, how high it goes. Well, let's put it this way. NIO, just a few weeks ago, was in the 20s. $24 a share. We saw this thing in the 20s. That means if this thing comes down to like $8 a share, the $8 range, you could 3x your money very fast once the market starts to recover. That's still insane. That's a really, really good return. If NIO comes down to the sevens, you could almost 4x your money in a short period of time because NIO could quickly recover back to this zone. Look how fast this thing recovers when we actually see those big pops. Remember, NIO went from $11 a share in near the end of May, close to like June, all the way up to 24 in about a month. This thing could double in a month. Just think about that. Insane gains can be made. That's why I'm still very, very bullish. And that's a technical standpoint. Fundamentally, when it comes to fundamentals, what the company is doing when it comes to deliveries, expansions, expanding all over the world, I believe they're going to be profitable soon. Like if you look at NIO's numbers, like way up here, the profit margin is still not positive yet. Just think about it. It's like investing in Tesla when it was tiny. And we have the opportunity to do it right now. Right? It's like buying Tesla when this thing was at like, I don't know, $11, $10, which is where NIO could go to. Even if it goes to like 9 or 8, it's a very, very good buying opportunity. I'm excited for it. I'm happy. It makes me happy to have this opportunity. People will look at me, all right? They'll think you're crazy for thinking that this company is going to make a comeback. It's crashing. This is the same thing that's been happening for decades and decades when people see the market crash. Because when there's a crash, as long as the fundamentals are strong, eventually the company's share price will recover, in my opinion. And if you guys just keep watching and you be patient, it's going to come right back up. It will come back to the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 100s over time. All right? So I'm not worried. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm very, very, very in Zen mode right now. Be ready, guys. Do what you have to do. Strategize yourselves. But be aware that from a Fibonacci retracement zone, if you look at, like I mentioned, this previous low going into the high that NIO made, and you don't even have to use this low. I mean, you could technically, let me fix this for a sec. If you want to use this low, it would show like $9 to $10, but it looks more like this is the one we would use. But either way, like I said, this thing will likely come to the 10s. If it doesn't hold that, then the 9 to 8 range is very possible. All right? I'm excited to be buying these dips, and I'm privileged for it, in my honest opinion. Thank you guys for so much for listening. Have a great day. Please be ready for this. All right? Be ready. And I'll see you guys in the next one. NIO to the moon, because the long-term future for years to come, it's still very bright. And peace out.